11 is when observation stops being passive. 11 is when the mind learned it can interfere. The body was changing in small, inconvenient ways, limbs lengthening without asking, balance renegotiating daily. The world reacted differently. Adults spoke at her with less indulgence. Children spoke around her, testing proximity like animals, unsure whether something bites. She noticed all of it. She sat slightly apart, not exiled position. Corners gave better sidelines. Windows provided exits that were conceptual, not physical. She wrote in margins because central narratives were always compromised. The notebooks mattered, black covers, no decorations. She disliked lies, told through aesthetics. Inside, her handwriting shifted with mood, tight when the world felt unstable, looser when she felt temporarily sovereign. She wrote rules for herself, not moral ones, structural ones. Do not react immediately. Do not speak unless the silence becomes inaccurate. Assume people are consistent until proven otherwise. This is where he appears, not dramatically. He never enters like a symbol. He enters like a noise. He laughed at me. Too loud. Too unafraid of consequence. Sugar on his breath, always sugar. He liked sweets with devotion other people reserved for ideology. Candy wrappers in his pockets, sticky fingers, a grin that suggested he already decided the world was negotiable. He did not sit still. He irritated her at first. Then it interested her. He refused rules unless they justified themselves. This was not rebellion as performance, it was rebellion as filtration. Authority bored him. Rationality amused him. He asked why in rooms that preferred compliance. She watched him break patterns not to destroy them, but to see which ones screamed. Classrooms shifted when he spoke, not because he was dominant, but because he destabilized expectations. Teachers adjusted tone unconsciously, while the children leaned forward and pretended not to. She began napping. She noted how his defiance had boundaries, how he never crossed into cruelty, how his humour softened his refusals. Sweetness was not indulgence but armour, sugar as insulation against a world that demanded edges. This disturbed her. She believed in edges. Attraction was not romantic at first, it was forensic. How does someone move without scaffolding? How does he survive contradiction without internal collapse? How does he laugh without checking the room? She texted proximity carefully, sat closer, offered comments that were precise enough to demand response. Quoted books out loud, sentences written decades before either of them existed, just to see if he recognized gravity. He did, in his own way. He didn't quote back. He simplified, translated, asked if the author meant it, or just enjoyed sounding clever. This offended her. Then it thrilled her. At 11, the world went psychedelic not as a fantasy, but was desire into the system. Desire is a hallucinogen when you don't yet know its chemical name. Always stretched, always deepened, a favourite purple dark was bruised. Yellow sharpened into warning. She found herself performing micro-portrayals of her own rules, lingering too long into conversation, laughing once before evaluating whether it was deserved. At night she wrote obsessively, not about him directly, but about systems under stress, about bridges failing because they were over-engineered, about creatures that survived by refusing to molt. She concluded rationally that they were incompatible. She was architecture, he was motion. He sat, observed, wrote by her own laws. He tasted the world and decided later whether it was poison. Her final thought on the matter was clean, surgical, devastating. How does a girl who survives by rules approach a boy who only respects them when they make sense? The answer unsettles her. She doesn't. She adapts the rules until they resemble freedom. That was the moment something cracked, not painfully, but irrevocably. Boris noticed. It did not intervene. It simply watched to see which of them each the other had to stay.